Economic panel this morning to discuss former managing editor at Forbes magazine, author and podcast host Dennis Neal, along with Heritage Foundation economic fellow Alan Mendenhall. Gentlemen, great to see you both this morning. So, Dennis, let's get right to it. I mean, what does this mean, these tariffs, for the average consumer?
So I don't think the average consumer is really going to see it much. You know, the headlines make big news about it. Oh, Trump's at it again. But these latest 50% tariffs on Canada goods, it's $20 billion a year worth of goods out of $380 billion a year that we import from Canada. And even then he exempts certain things that we actually need. Let's not forget that Canada charges some tariffs on our stuff over 100% to get dairy products into their country. So tit for tat.
Yeah, absolutely. And good to bring that up as well. Alan, do you think consumers should be worried?
Well, not initially. I think what's really important to bear in mind here is how we got to this particular tariff, which is after the Learning Resources case in February, where the Supreme Court struck down the president's ability to institute tariffs by IEPA, he had to shift. And that IEPA would have given him broad powers. Now he's looking at Section 301, unfair trade practices. That's the statutory authority he's using for Brazil. And there is no statutory cap on that. And he's using Section 338 on Canada, and there's no fixed limit on that either. So we're looking at something that could take a long time. You know, these tariffs could be instituted for a long time. And, you know, economists are there's pretty much a consensus that over time tariffs do act as a tax on imports that raise the cost of goods and that they distort market prices and they cause retaliation and trade wars. But what the president's doing here is using another economic principle, which is trade-offs. And he's using these tariffs as a negotiating mechanism. And he wants reciprocal trade agreements with Canada. And Canada is a vastly inferior economy. It would be really dumb not to mirror image our trade arrangements.
Yeah, and the president is really the negotiator in chief. Dennis, you don't seem too worried about these tariffs, but I wonder, though, could it reignite inflation?
Well, everyone always worries about that, but the worry about the tariffs has been far in excess of the reality. We just had an inflation report that went down almost a full percentage point in terms of the inflation rate, and it's inflated by the Iran war's impact on oil prices. And so really, our economy has proven to be incredibly resilient. You know, we just had 6% more spending in June than the year before, in part because of the World Cup influx. I'm an optimist. Capitalism is optimism monetized. And, you know, everyone was hanging crepe April 2025. Oh, my gosh, it's so terrible. And stocks are up hugely to all-time levels. And overall, there is no inflationary impact, or very little of all of this, because the importers will absorb some of that, right? They're not going to pass it all on to us because we won't pay it. Prices are already too darn high.
Yeah, and a lot of people worried about where gas prices are going now, and jumping off of that, the president, he's traveling to Marietta, Georgia today, near Atlanta, to speak at a high school about his Trump accounts for children, which launched on July 4th. So, Alan, I want you to weigh in on all of this. I mean, how pivotal is this Trump account program in building wealth for the next generation?
Well, the president is going to Wheeler High School, which was my rival high school growing up. So I am right on that area. It's about 5 minutes from where my parents are. And I've got friends going to the high school today to see him. So it's fascinating. I got Trump accounts for my children. They didn't qualify for the seed money, the $1,000 seed money, because they're older. But I still got them Trump accounts because I want them to gain financial literacy. I want them to see the miracle of compound interest and to be able to track how their investments multiply over time. I think these Trump accounts are great things. Now, I do get nervous about what would happen if you had a Gavin Newsom as a president, and would he say, oh, well, why is a 1,000 seed deposit, all we have to do? What about a 5,000 or a 10,000? So I do get worried about that. But in general, I think this is a great program. It is very far from any kind of entitlement program that we've had in the past. But again, there are things about it that make me a little nervous, but I think on the whole, it's a good thing.
Yeah, I just regret my kids are too old for this. I wish I could get in on this for them as well. And Marietta, home of the big chicken. We love it. Okay,
yes,
Alan and Dennis, great to be Lived in Vinings for many years. I know it well. Gentlemen, great to be with you both and get your insights. So always appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.